Hello friends. So after yesterday's video, I sort of was thinking about sort of all the times where I wanted to like sort of share something via Facebook but not have to make a video and wait for it to upload, and just me wanting to communicate more with you guys, like as a community, like in between videos, as I think I'm wanting to start putting more thought into my videos and not do these sort of one-off unedited things as much anymore. So I started a Facebook group called Personality Typology for Self-Growth, and the link is in the description, and I would love it if you all would join. So basically, this isn't going to be like I don't want it to get muddled with crap and promotions and all this stuff, like a lot of really large, like I'm in a group that's just called ENFJ, and I barely even look at it anymore. I'm sure it's a great group. No offense if anyone's like watching this that's like a moderator of that group. I haven't looked at it in a long time, so I might be sort of thinking of something else. But I guess I really want to make this conversation very focused on how to use personality typology, whether that be Myers-Briggs, Enneagram, or Socionics, and how to use that for self-growth, self-discovery, self-empowerment, how to get rid of limiting beliefs that you might have based on your type. And there's gonna be like no tolerance really for people saying like, oh, this type is better than this type, and people trying to put themselves in boxes. Like in this group, we all recognize that humans are multifaceted, and we all recognize that feelers and thinkers are intelligent, feelers and thinkers have feelings, feelings and thinkers are humans, sensors and intuitives both have complex lives. So there's going to be a lot of those things. It's kind of going to be about getting rid of some of the stereotypes around personality type, but it's mostly going to be focused, and I will probably be asking like a prompt or like a question every day, or just whenever I think of something, to get people talking, so that it's going to be a little bit more guided of like, all right, which of your functions do you think is offers the most problems to you or the most benefit to you? Because what I really believe at the end of the day, and what I really wanted to get into more, is that every single function, all 8 of Carl Jung's cognitive function, it's just one lens of viewing the world. And what I really believe is, like, as an ENFJ, TE and SI are the functions that I'm pretty much blind to. I don't really notice. I've gotten better at it, as you know, I'm obsessed with personality type and I try and look at functions all the time. But the lessons that TE and SI users know are the ones that I'm going to be the last to figure out. For example, not caring what people think. Being responsible for every detail in my environment and how that affects my productivity. You know, like those sort of things that ESTJs know. ESTJs have great boundaries. That's something I've always struggled with. What I really want is to create an environment where we aren't fighting because we have different ways of thinking. We aren't being like, you're stupid for thinking this way. Instead, it's, wow, you think completely differently than me. Why? What are you seeing that I'm not seeing? And we can try and see the other perspective. And so only people that are committed to that are going to be in this group, allowed in this group. And I really hope that every single one of you wants to join me in this and interact with me and with other people that have been watching these videos. Maybe meet some people of your type, or if you have specific questions like, you know, wow, it seems like INFJs always do this door slam thing. I'm an ENFP and I always feel this door slam from an INFJ. Like, what are they doing that, or what am I doing to cause this? Like, what is it that I'm not seeing? Like, that's an example of a good question. We're trying to really not blame other people for their behavior, or say every type always does, or every thinker is always this way, or every SFJ is like always a mom, like they're dumb. Like, that's not gonna be allowed. Something that I might think is, how come SFJs seem to like notice exactly whenever I might be cold, or if I'm sick. My mom is so anxious if she can't be with me when I'm sick because she's an ESFJ, and because she wants to make sure that like I'm getting enough rest and like that I have taken the right medicine and that sort of stuff. And she's very controlling over making sure that my sensory world is comfortable. And so anyway, like, I want everyone to approach this with curiosity, and everyone to want to learn about other people, want to learn about themselves, and want to also understand that functions and personality type is a very egoic thing that we can transcend. Like, yes, I believe that personality type is innate and that people are born with an archetype. I believe that it is nature, and that nurture just sort of impacts how you operate under that type. But I do think that it's innate. I know that that is just my opinion. Like, other people have different opinions. But I still, even though it is innate and natural, in my opinion, I believe that we aren't confined to that cognitive pattern. It's just the cognitive pattern that we prefer. So in times of stress, we might be using other functions we aren't familiar with, or if you're in a specific job that needs you to use a specific function, you might be using that more. For example, I was in a job once where my boss was an INFJ, and the TE was so bad that I was literally never given anything of what to do. Like, I didn't have any expectations set, anything like that. And so even though my TE is also bad, I sort of noticed that there wasn't enough TE happening, and so I started being a little bit more aggressive of like, this is what I'm doing by this deadline. Tell me, is this okay, yes or no? Like, I sort of had to do that because I recognized that there wasn't any TE there. So, I don't know, there's always going to be areas where you can use every function. And it's honestly helpful if you have used other functions, because then you can empathize with other people. But I gotta get going now. I have a lot of thoughts on, obviously, like, how much is too much when it comes to trying to dabble into other functions that you don't prefer. What I will say on that is that I believe that the whole goal of life is to completely discover new aspects of yourself, integrate those aspects to become a stronger, bolder, more empowered version of yourself, and then go out there and do your purpose, solve the problem that only you can solve, and give the gift that only you have. And I think that there's enough people in this world that each person has a unique gift, and personality type doesn't even scrape the surface of your uniqueness, like, at all. It's just a tool, and I want to help people use that as a tool, and as a tool to become better people, and not a tool to you know, make excuses and get in arguments and be like, well, I read more about cognitive functions than you, so therefore, or like, oh, well, you're actually using this, I watched a 10-second video clip and you seem to be using FI more than NI, so you clearly aren't an ENFJ. Or like, oh, sorry, I'm not salty. I just hate, actually I am salty. I hate know-it-alls that don't just pause and think about things before they talk. Maybe gather some more information. If you know this, you'll start to know this about me. And with other ENFJs or even ESFJs, with their lower TI, they really value ideas being completely refined before they share. They sometimes wait a little too long. They sometimes, yeah. Whereas TJs will be like, oh, here's an idea. What do you think of this? Here's an idea. Oh, have you considered this? TPs will sort of refine it based on their worldview and then share. But EFJs are the least likely to sort of share their opinion. And every time they do, it has been refined like tenfold. Like, it has been refined a lot. And so go easy on EFJs trying to share their opinion, because it has been refined a lot. Like, they don't just talk, or they don't just say something unless that they've thought about it. So anyway, point of this video is to join the group. So yeah, I can't wait to talk to all of you. The link is in the description, and I'm probably going to link it somewhere here if I have time. If you're watching this before I have time to do that, I'm sorry. I'm just going to be waving my hands. But anyway, I will see you soon. Bye.